DT.
Monday night at 11:35. You're watching News Channel 5.
Gruesome legacy. Iraqis discover another mass grave, an execution ground for hundreds of Saddam's opponents. A cruel insurance scam that offered the homeless cash in exchange for broken bones. America's ER crisis. As the number of visits goes up, the number of ERs goes down. And in the money, a profitable outlook for Funnyside far beyond the Belmont Stakes.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. U.S. troops in Iraq came under deadly fire again today, this time in an ambush in Saddam Hussein's hometown. Gunmen in Tikrit attacked the American forces with small arms fire and a rocket-propelled grenade. The U.S. Central Command says one American soldier was killed, 4 others wounded. Since President Bush declared major combat operations over 5 weeks ago, 10 Americans have been killed in action in Iraq, 7 of them in the past 2 weeks. And families of Iraqis who have searched for missing loved ones in the past decade got more bad news today. This after a gruesome discovery near the Iraqi capital. Mark Phillips reports on what some are calling the latest evidence of the brutality of life under Saddam Hussein.
This time, it's a place called Salman Pak, about 20 miles east of Baghdad. The diggers moved in today after a local farmer discovered the crude gravesite on his land. He had recently reclaimed his farm from the now vanished Mukhabarat, Saddam's infamous secret police, who had confiscated the land 25 years ago. In the past, it was unthinkable to even ask about missing relatives, let alone actually look for them. But today, people search for clues that the missing might be here. Local villagers said many had been brought for execution over the years, particularly after the 1991 Shiite uprising when they were brought in by the truckload. But the executions seem to have continued right up until before this last war.
4 months.
4 months ago?
4 months.
Just before the war?
Hey.
Several bodies were exhumed today to be taken away for a proper burial. It's suspected hundreds more may lie beneath these mounds. The evidence found here may provide proof to the victims' families of what happened to those who disappeared under Saddam's rule, but moving that evidence may also make it more difficult to prosecute those responsible for those crimes, if they can ever be found. This excavation was organized by one of the Shiite political groupings that is vying for power here. Iraq's bloody past has now become an emotive political issue. Another mass grave and more evidence, if it was needed, of the murderous brutality of the Saddam Hussein regime. But it's also more than that. Each of these discoveries is being used by the groups which were persecuted or denied power in the past to argue that they must have a role in determining Iraq's future. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Salman Pak, Iraq.
President Bush may have contradicted his own intelligence sources when he asserted last September that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. At the same time, Mr. Bush was charging that Iraq had chemical weapons. A report from the Defense Intelligence Agency said there was no reliable information on whether Iraq is producing or stockpiling chemical weapons. No such weapons have been found in Iraq thus far. President Bush today called German Chancellor Schroeder, who opposed the war in Iraq, to offer condolences after 4 German peacekeepers were killed by a suicide bomber in Afghanistan. 24 others were wounded when a car bomb went off next to a bus carrying the troops in Kabul. It was the first fatal attack against international peacekeepers in Afghanistan. In Africa, rebels in the Congo went on the attack today against a town where French peacekeeping troops had just arrived. The French are the vanguard of an international peacekeeping force trying to end years of bloodshed in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Tom Fenton reports they're stepping into a situation where the UN has failed and the U.S. is conspicuously absent.
The European Union is trying to do something new. It's sending a French-led peacekeeping force to one of Africa's bloodiest conflicts in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's new because for the first time, there's no NATO involvement in a European-led force. Read that for no United States participation.
This is something politically and militarily very important. It's not an easy operation. It has a very important humanitarian component.
The new force will replace a UN contingent of 700 Uruguayan troops who were supposed to defend the inhabitants but can barely defend themselves. The European-led peacekeepers will try to enforce a largely meaningless ceasefire in the 6-year-old Congo war that has left 3 million people dead from murder, disease, and starvation. This man says, we want the French to come to make things go back to normal. But humanitarian groups say the force is not nearly big enough.
Those who suffer from malaria, those who have been attacked with machetes, those who have been shot, have not had any access to. So what happens? They die.
This is a war that is fueled by diamonds and gold, fabulous mineral wealth that can literally be scooped up out of the ground. Neighbors have been meddling in the country for years. But it's some of these same countries that are now enjoying the role of allies in America's war on terror. That, Vera Hunger contends, is why Americans look the other way.
They have resisted any pressure to put any form of pressure on the governments of the region that have been fueling the conflict, whose forces are involved in some of the atrocities that have been committed.
That has left the fate of these Congolese in the hands of a fledgling European force that will be dangerously undermanned and is committed to remain there for no more than 3 months. Tom Fenton, CBS News, London.
A strange and disturbing story out of the Midwest tonight. Police say a bizarre scam that left some homeless Chicagoans with broken bones has been busted, but not before ripping off insurance companies of tens of thousands of dollars. Randall Pinkston has more.
Fake car accidents to collect fraudulent insurance claims are nothing new and cost consumers billions of dollars in extra premiums. But the cold-hearted cruelty of a Chicago insurance scam stunned people who thought they had seen everything. These 6 suspects are accused of bribing desperately poor people, recruiting them from the streets and homeless shelters to pretend to be accident victims. This garage was their first stop. The fake victims brought here to receive real injuries.
The lowest of the lowest is about all I can say.
This man, known as the Bone Crusher, is accused of using the handle from this crude homemade weapon to break an arm or a leg.
Once these people were injured, they were taken to a location, a predetermined location. There was a fake accident that was staged.
Police got wind of the scam when Chicago homeless shelters noticed an unusually high number of men with broken bones. For the accused scam artists, it was lucrative.
Most settlements were pretty quick settlements, cash settlements. They ranged in the tens of thousands of dollars up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But police say the homeless who took the greatest risk received no more than $200 to $1,500.
It's just an unbelievable situation. I can't imagine people preying on homeless people who are really fragile.
Unfortunately, the repulsive treatment of the homeless in Chicago is not unheard of. A year ago, CBS News broke the story of movie makers in Las Vegas who hired the homeless for a sick genre of reality video called bum fights. A homeless man's hair set on fire. Another pelted with rocks. Others paid and prodded to fight or perform dangerous stunts.
And this is a craze. Everyone loves it around the world.
But prosecutors in Nevada didn't love it and convicted their producers. The same fate that may await the accused Chicago insurance scam artists who, for their own gain, abused the homeless. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, New York.
President Bush today recommended changes in Medicare that would offer better prescription drug benefits to seniors who switch to private health plans. That's in contrast to a Senate plan that would give equal drug coverage to all seniors. In his weekly radio address, the president said competition will improve the Medicare system. A new study of emergency rooms confirms what doctors already know. They're swamped. The Centers for Disease Control found the number of visits has increased 20% to 107.5 million per year. At the same time, the number of emergency rooms actually decreased 15%. As Bill Whitaker reports, nowhere the situation is critical or crippling as Los Angeles.
Barbara Madison lives in pain and fear. Acute rheumatoid arthritis is destroying her knees.
I can actually feel my bone popping out of the side of my knee and in the back of my knee.
She takes 18 pain pills a day, and without knee replacement surgery within a month, Madison may never walk again. So imagine her despair when surgeons at County USC Hospital in Los Angeles sent a nurse with the bad news.
And she came back and told me that it'll be March of 2004 before they have an opening, if that's soon.
Shocking, but far from the worst case at County, the largest public hospital in California, serving tens of thousands of uninsured patients a year.
Bag of saline and tubing, please.
It looks dramatic on TV, but overcrowded, overworked, and over budget, it's really more traumatic. Long waits in the emergency room are nothing new, but now patients can wait 16 hours for ER care, then wait days for a bed, years for surgery. Patients pile up in hallways like cars on LA's freeways. ER doctor Gary Painda says one normal, busy day, it took him 6 hours to get to 2 patients. He put them in the holding area to be admitted.
Saw the rest of my patients, went home that day, came back the next day, and they were still there. Things like that happen all the time. These aren't freak occurrences. It's fairly standard.
With the economy slowing and population growing, more uninsured patients are overwhelming county emergency rooms, which are required by law to take them in. Budget-busted Los Angeles says it can't even afford the current level of care, and only a court order stopped it from cutting 100 more beds. Dr. Brent Asplin reviewed the hospital for citizens fighting further cuts.
But after visiting LA County USC, it really is the worst crowding conditions I've seen in the country.
I have no doubt that if we continue on the present course, it will get worse, and large numbers of people will die.
For Barbara Madison, it's not a matter of death, but quality of life.
I just figured that I'll never walk.
It's gotta be.
You know. I just want to walk again.
She's forced to rely on a system too hobbled to carry the growing patient load any longer. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News. Who was behind a death threat on the Pope? And later, what's next for Funny Side after his run for the Triple Crown?
Oh, hey, hi, I'm Baker. Don't mind me, I'm just a dermatophyte. You know, a nail infection. All I want is to get in here and live under your nail. You can't get me with clippers or those surface treatments you try on your own. I'm in too deep in your nail bed. I'll make myself comfortable, invite a few friends, settle in.
Do you have thick, discolored, or flaky nails? Millions of people do. It may be caused by an active live infection. That's why you should ask your doctor about prescription-only Lamisil. Unlike surface treatments, Lamisil is a pill that works through the bloodstream to target and attack the infection at its source, underneath the nail. In fact, you can start to see clearer, healthier nails in just 3 months. Lamisil isn't for people with liver or kidney problems. Barely serious side effects in the liver or serious skin reactions have occurred, so your doctor may do blood tests. Other side effects including headache, diarrhea, indigestion, and rash were generally mild. Ask your doctor about Lamisil. It's the #1 brand for treating infected nails. Once daily Lamisil tablets. Get your nail infection where it grows.
What's as gentle as Senecot natural vegetable laxatives? Senecot tablets contain 100% natural senna. The original senna laxative shown to be effective in 50 clinical studies. Yet Senecot gives you overnight relief from occasional constipation gently. Senecot works gently, works overnight.
Ensure
Friendship.
Ensure
Laughter.
Ensure
Tears.
Ensure
Victory.
Millions of healthy people are discovering Ensure. One glass gives you complete balanced nutrition when you can't have foods like these. Ensure
Family. Wonder. Life.
Ensure to your health. Now with lutein to help support the health of your eyes.
It's time to toss it up. Time to grill it up. It's time for Red Lobster's new Mix It Up Shrimp. Combine a few of our 5 mouth-watering flavors, all served with our famous Cheddar Bay biscuits and salad. Mix It Up Shrimp. It won't be around for long.
It's a beautiful morning.
Ask your doctor today about Vioxx, a prescription medicine from Merck, and find out what Vioxx can do for you. Vioxx.
No fruits,
No colors, no scales, just the pure moisture of Lubriderm. Only the ingredients you need to keep dry skin at a distance. Lubriderm, a pure approach to healthier skin.
When eyes get dry, scratchy, irritated, Visine Tears can soothe, moisturize, and protect like your own natural tears. And it's safe to use as often as you need. Visine Tears relieves dry eyes like your own natural tears.
Focus, David, focus.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Okay, woodchuck.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time in their history, Episcopalians have elected an openly gay bishop. The Reverend V. Gene Robinson was chosen as Bishop of New Hampshire today. Robinson must be confirmed next month at the church's national convention. On the 100th foreign trip of his papacy, Pope John Paul II is bringing his message of peace to a war-torn region of Europe. 200,000 people attended his outdoor mass today in Croatia. Alan Pizzi is there.
Fighting age, ailments, and strength-sapping heat, Pope John Paul II today delivered a message of peace and reconciliation to people scarred by a bitter civil war. And shortly before the catamaran ride that began his 5-day visit to Croatia, there was a reminder that the world is still not as he would like it to be. In an email to local news agencies, a self-styled Islamic fundamentalist group threatened to kill the Pope in the name of Allah. Vatican officials shrugged off the menace to John Paul II's 100th foreign trip.
We cannot accept in any way a change in the plan or just the Pope being away from the people or things like that.
The impetus for the punishing pastoral visits comes from the Pope himself, Vatican officials say. He has traveled the equivalent of 29 times around the Earth's circumference and made 3,401 speeches in 129 countries, not counting Italy. But the distances the once vigorous Pope moved on his own have been reduced. A new hydraulic chair allows John Paul II to remain seated during long ceremonies, saving strength for long-term goals. His homily today was also part of his quest to heal the 1,000-year-old rift between the Orthodox and Roman churches. Speaking in a voice that seems to have found a new power, the 83-year-old John Paul II said that, in his words, a commitment to reconciliation, solidarity, and social justice calls for courage. Catholic Croats and Orthodox Serbs tore each other apart in this area in the civil war that broke up former Yugoslavia in the early 1990s. Among the targets of the madness of war were churches, and the Pope today prayed for peace at one of the few that was spared. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Rijeka.
Just ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, Martha Stewart's future, not only in the hands of a jury, but also the loyalty of her fans.
Hi, grape nuts, please.
You know, it'd take 4 bowls of grape nuts to equal the B vitamins in just 1 bowl of Total.
4 bowls. Dig in, Lumpy.
Special K, please.
That'd take 16 bowls to equal the zinc in Total.
16 bowls. Eat up, sweetie.
Shredded wheat?
40 bowls to equal the calcium in Total.
40 bowls. Chow down, big boy.
You need Total. It's got 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. No other cereal comes close.
Total, please.
Total for me.
We're out of bowls.
Total Raisin Bran. What are you getting for breakfast?
I love nature.
Except when it stops.
You're constipated.
Maureen.
Try new Phillips Chocolate Cream Chews. Unlike others, Phillips is stimulant-free. It works more naturally for cramp-free relief.
Phillips.
Comfortable cramp-free relief.
The Equal Bowl. It's right next to the Sugar Bowl in my restaurant and in my home. Want to make a great pie? New Equal Spoonful makes it easy. It measures cup for cup, just like sugar. 0-calorie Equal. Have you tried it lately?
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Look at that. Oxy Booster got out iodine, ketchup, and nothing else. Tide with bleach got out everything.
Yes, I can.
Today, more people with diabetes are getting to know AccuCheck Compact. The one with the drum. Automatic, so you never have to handle a test strip, even when you're in the middle of something important. Compact from AccuCheck. Diabetes made easier. Life lived better.
Recently, all the winners of the Car and Driver Best Pickup Award got together for a little reunion. It's good to see everyone again. Silverado, the three-time winner, the only winner of Car and Driver's Best Pickup Award. Silverado, a truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, and the Middle East. We'll talk to National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice, plus Democratic presidential candidate Dick Gephardt. Face the Nation Sunday.
In the wake of her highly publicized federal indictment, nobody can say for sure what Martha Stewart's fate will be. What can be said for certain is that she is not the only one with a stake in the outcome. The future of Martha Stewart and of the people with an interest in her fate is the focus of tonight's Weekend Journal.
What's been bad for Martha Stewart has been a good thing for fan and internet entrepreneur John Small.
We've gotten over 11 million hits. We've sold thousands and thousands of T-shirts and hats and mugs and aprons.
Small runs SaveMartha.com, a website aimed at fanning the passions of Stewart devotees who believe their idol is being treated unfairly. The website also sells T-shirts at $20 a pop.
I think Martha's being singled out because she's rich, she's female, she's blonde, she's a billionaire, and that's a recipe for disaster in this country.
The scandal has scared advertisers away from Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia, which is losing more money than ever. In the first 3 months of this year, ad pages in Martha Stewart Living magazine were down 28%, fueling a first-quarter loss of $58 million. The value of the company's stock has plummeted 50% over the last year.
All aspects of their business are facing some sort of problem with this investigation going on, and they're not able to escape from it.
But as damaging as this week's federal indictment was to Stewart's reputation, it may signal the worst is over. The news actually pushed her company's stock price slightly higher.
It is really a glorious brand.
Retail analyst Wendy Liebman says what will ultimately save the company is what made it such a success: Stewart's talent for design of stylish products.
For the most part, the people who are shopping at Kmart and the people that are going to Sherwin-Williams, they're smart enough to say, I love this paint color. I love this, shower curtain.
I want to focus on my salad because...
As Stewart takes on a lower corporate profile, experts expect her company to shift away from the fussiness that made it famous and move towards a more modest lifestyle approach.
Saving Martha, that's a good thing.
Fans like John Small predict even more: a return to grace for their domestic goddess.
I'd say the house needs some serious renovations. If anyone can renovate this house, it's Martha Stewart. If she can do PR as well as she can bake a creme brulee, I think she'll have no problem at all.
Toward that end, Martha Stewart has already launched a website in her own defense. It's called MarthaTalks.com. The site reports more than 2 million individual hits on its very first day. We'll be back.
Wish your dentures were this comfortable? Bob's denture adhesive is C-Bond.
Water for hold, love it for comfort.
Only C-Bond clings wall-to-wall with 3 strong adhesives in a thin velvet soft wafer. No gaps, no ooze. C-Bond, buy it for hold.
Love it for comfort.
Want cleaner dentures? Toothbrushes only have 1 head. The C-Bond denture brush has 2 to clean where toothbrushes can miss.
Oh. What's the matter, honey? Oh, I know just what you need.
For fast relief, take Alka-Seltzer. Effervescent Alka-Seltzer cools the burn of indigestion and pain fast.
Better, dear.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
Viagra congratulates Rafael Palmeiro on his 500th home run.
These people aren't just sleeping, they're whitening their teeth a better way. With new Crest Night Effects. Crest Night Effects forms a liquid strip coating that stays on teeth all night, while most of that other paint-on whitener washes off. It's clinically proven to give you twice the whitening. Why waste the night just sleeping? Spend it creating a whiter smile. Crest Night Effects. Sleep your way to a whiter smile.
The 2003 Chevy Trailblazer and Trailblazer EXT. You can take them just about anywhere. With confidence. Inside. And out. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Busted for stealing a car, but wait till you see how. Monday, the high-tech way cops are stopping thieves in their tracks. Eye on America on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Finally this evening, he couldn't do it. Funny Side failed in his bid to win horse racing's Triple Crown today. He came in third as Empire Maker won the Belmont Stakes in New York. But as Lee Cowan reports, Funny Side still has a shot at racing immortality.
He was another favorite in a long line of favorites who nearly tasted Triple Crown gold. But Funny Side is not just another horse who lost. Funny Side is history in the making.
They're approaching the top of the stretch. Funny Side to the neck, the piece rolls.
Labeled the Gutsy Gelding, he was the first New York-bred horse to ever win the Kentucky Derby.
And Funny Side comes roaring off the turn.
2 weeks later, he won the Preakness by more lengths than any other horse in history, save one. Even with tonight's loss, Funny Side is still considered a legend. And those who know him best say actually, he's just getting warmed up.
The fan base that he has is unbelievable. I mean, everyone wants to see him race until he's 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, and that's fine with us.
As a gelding, Funny Side is horse racing's most ineligible bachelor. He can't mate. So unlike Affirmed, the last Triple Crown winner who left the sport to be a stud, Funny Side will keep heading for the starting gate to give fans what he does best.
He's going to race for a very long time to come and entertain a lot more people, and that's good for horse racing.
As the field turns for home. And horse racing needs it. On a typical day, on any typical track, there are practically more horses than fans.
Most sports need superstars. Superstars are what makes it go around.
It's been a long time since fans have had a horse to follow for more than one season. In the 60s, it was Kelso, named Horse of the Year 5 years running.
Outside, Forgo on the outside, and Honest Pleasure.
Forgo wowed fans in the 80s for 8 long years. And then there was John Henry in the 80s, who racked up an amazing 39 career wins. And Funny Side could be even greater.
He has the potential to become a genuine folk hero that's more important for the sport than having a superstar Triple Crown winner who's retired by August.
His trainers say Funny Side won't even peak for another 2 years. He may not have made history tonight. The blank pages are just waiting to be written. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Belmont Park, New York.
And that's tonight's CBS Evening News. Tomorrow on Sunday morning, Tony nominee Bernadette Peters. Then on Face the Nation, National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News, New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, log on to cbsnews.com. CBS News.
Lee Company, for your heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing needs. Receive a free fall tune-up when scheduling your $79 spring tune-up. Take comfort with Lee.
In your mind exists a mountain escape that sweeps you away, where time stands still and simple pleasures are savored. Change your perspective. Experience the wonders of America's largest home and discover a grand vision you'll find close to your heart. Biltmore Estate, Asheville, North Carolina.
Escape is closer than you think, with special packages available at the Inn on Biltmore Estate or other area accommodations. Call 1-877-BILTMORE.
Try Fazoli's new Tuscan Beef Submarino for just $4.99. And try our new gourmet breads, Asiago Herb and Honey Wheat.
Go to the Health Network and communicate with local professionals at NewsChannel5.com. Email your questions about ocular plastic surgery to Dr. Ralph Wesley and Dr. Kimberly Klippenstein. You've got medical questions, and the Health Network at NewsChannel5.com has the answers.
Straight ahead tonight on News Channel 5 at 6. It was 1 year ago today. 2 police officers were killed in Clarksville. We'll show you how fellow officers and the community are remembering the men.